What is the chief end of man? Answer: to glorify God and enjoy Him forever. That's how Christians in the 17th century asked and answered one of life's biggest questions: what is my purpose? The question of identity and purpose is on the minds of so many people today. If you've ever wrestled with the meaning of life or wondered whether there's any real purpose to our existence, this little question and answer can actually keep us grounded and help us avoid falling into two ditches. The first ditch is the belief that there's no meaning or purpose at all. The second ditch is deciding for ourselves what gives us ultimate meaning, purpose, and joy. But a life without meaning will always end up, meaningless and purposeless. And a life built on self-made purpose, that just leads to a never-ending cycle of emptiness and unfulfillment. This question and its answer remind us that we do have a purpose, and that this purpose doesn't come from within us. It's not subjective. It doesn't come from the people around us either. It's not cultural. Our purpose comes from above us and outside of us. It's objective. And it's been defined and assigned to us by God, our Creator. The book of Colossians says that all things were created by Him and for Him. Ephesians 1:12 says that we've been saved to the praise of His glory. And 1 Corinthians 10:31 says, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do all to the glory of God. See, that's the purpose for which we were created. We were created for God, to glorify God. What does that mean? Well, it means to make Him known to the world. To glorify God is to live in such a way that shows how great, beautiful, and worthy He already is. Well, how do we do that? By living our lives in step with God's design, by trusting Him, by obeying Him, by keeping His commandments. Or another way we can put it is by putting God at the center of our lives. Whether you're a student, a stay-at-home mom, a doctor, an engineer, or retired, whatever your earthly goals and vocation may be, your ultimate purpose is to put God at the center of your life so that God's greatness may become known to all. C.S. Lewis once put it this way: God made us, invented us as a man invents an engine. A car is made to run on gasoline, and it won't run properly on anything else. Now God designed the human machine to run on Himself. He Himself is the fuel our spirits were designed to burn, the food our spirits were designed to feed on. There is no other. God cannot give us a happiness and peace apart from Himself, because it is not there. St. Augustine summed it up beautifully when he said, "You have made us for yourself, O Lord, and our heart is restless until it rests in you." One of the greatest lies ever told is that we can find true fulfillment and joy apart from God, that His laws are burdensome, or that they somehow hold us back from achieving our purpose. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Life outside of God, apart from Jesus, only leads to weariness, a restless and burdened existence. Think of a swimmer striving and struggling against the current. Jesus Himself said in Matthew 11:28-30, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light." In other words, loving God through humble obedience to His good commands actually brings joy, peace, and fulfillment into our lives. But obedience isn't the sum and the substance of our relationship with God. Our obedience to God was never meant to just be a pragmatic act of obedience. It was never meant to be cold or mechanical. It's meant to be lived out in a love-filled and joy-filled relationship. That's what it means to enjoy God. God desires for us to be deeply content and satisfied in His love and in His goodness. Now, sadly, sin has separated us from God and polluted our hearts, our affections, and our desires, so that truly enjoying Him is impossible on our own. But the amazing news is that God the Father, in His gracious love, sent His Son, the Lord Jesus, to redeem those who are His, to restore what sin has broken and to make straight what is crooked, even our wandering hearts and loves that chase after lesser joys. With the Spirit's help, we can learn to joy and delight in God more and more. But even then, that joy is only a taste, like taking small sips from a cup. One day, we'll drink deeply from the fountain of joy itself. When this life is over and we finally see the God who loves us and cares for us in all His beauty, then we'll be truly and eternally lost in wonder, love, and praise. I love how the psalmist puts it. Whom have I in heaven but you? And earth has nothing I desire besides you. My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. You see, we've been created for so much more than just chasing the next promotion, or a bigger house, or a fancier holiday. And certainly there is more to this life than just random chance. We were made by a God who loves, and we were made to know Him, rest in Him, and to enjoy Him forever.